Good morning. It's Lisa with Lisa Heal Yourself. And today I want to talk about resistance again. And I want to do the second part of resistance video, but I'm also struggling because I want to speak to the people who are truly suffering and who just can't wrap their mind around a video like resistance is causing a chronic illness. And to those people, I would say you're right. Resistance does not cause a chronic illness. Chronic illness is the byproduct of resistance, and there's a very subtle difference. But in that difference of that subtlety is everything that you need to understand. First, I just want to reach out to everyone who is suffering from a chronic illness. And I want to tell you, I understand what it's like to suffer. I suffered so intensely and so deeply for so many years that it was hard to tell which way was up, which way was down. I was in such a tight jail cell. It was so black, it was so dark, it was so all-encompassing, it was so tight. It was so physically, mentally, spiritually painful that pain isn't even the right word to describe it. It was unbearable. And really, when you get to that space, there is nothing. You cannot find anything else, any remnants of your true self, any remnants of yourself, because all you can feel, it's below hopelessness, it's below helplessness, it's truly living in the darkest hell on earth, and it is truly survival. 1 second would be too long to say. 1 nanosecond at a time feels like an eternity that you can never escape from. And so if you've ever been in this position, in this spot, I see you. And I know you can break out of that jail cell. It's like you've been sent to a lifetime of imprisonment in jail, only that jail is solitary confinement in a dark, small dungeon. Only that solitary confinement is locked in the very pits and the deepest recesses of hell, where nobody can see and hear you and have access to you. And if you're here, and if you've stumbled upon this video, please know that when I talk about, chronic illness being the byproduct of resistance, I'm not speaking to you because I can't help you where you are. Nobody can help you where you are. Nobody but you can help you where you are. And you are still there. And let's just talk about that for a minute. There is nothing, no video, no magic potion, no anything that can help you. The only thing that can help you is yourself, is seeing that you are not completely shattered and broken and trapped here forever. You will feel something. You will see something. A part of you, a piece of you. It's a sliver. It's barely there, but it's the part that sees the darkness. It's the part that sees the pits of hell. It's the part that's there that is doing the seeing, because you are not the part that's experiencing the deepest, blackest hell. Who is seeing that part, right? It's an inquiry of self. Who is seeing that part? Who is the truer, realer self that sees? That is the subtle distinction. And if you can perceive another perceiver, the part that is perceiving this blackness, then there is more. And at some point you will realize that you are not the blackness, but you are the one that sees the blackness. And if you can hold on and see that there is a perceiver and try to see who that perceiver is, And even still, if you can see that perceiver, that means there's another perceiver above that perceiver. And it means there's more levels to you. It means you're not really there. It feels like you're there, but your true self is up here, right? Way up here. Your true self is still everything. And you are not broken. You're not broken. And you are not meant to stay there forever. And once you can see any crack of light, you begin to get hope. Hope sprouts through the tiniest of cracks where the light breaks in. And when you see that, you cling to hope. You might listen to a success story, or you might gravitate to anything that brings you up just a little bit more and a little bit more. And that's what hope does. It helps to pull us upward toward the light. Now, some people who experience chronic illness, maybe a cancer or, a degenerative disease like MS, oftentimes it starts small and grows big. And this is the resistance that I spoke of being the byproduct of chronic illness, right? We resisted ourselves, our true nature, the truest parts of ourselves over and over and over until we have created dis-ease in our body, and it grows and grows and grows. Sometimes there is a tipping point, right, that knocks us into this state where we're sort of going in that direction already, and then something happens, an event happens, a relationship fails, we lose our job, or a death in the family, or an accident, something happens, right? And it's enough to tip us harder and faster down this path. So it seems like it's the thing, and we focus on the thing that sort of propelled us there, and we forget that everything that preceded that, everything that came before that, was a resistance in our life at one form or another that was leading us down the path at a slower rate. So it's easy to blame and get obsessed with the thing, the tipping point, the big event or the big thing that preceded the propulsion of this illness. But it's not often fair, and that's why when we're unraveling a chronic illness, we do start at the big event and we do unravel what happened. Because if we can unravel the emotional part and the spiritual part and the physical part of what actually seems to be the culprit, then we can make huge progress. But we often can't completely heal a chronic illness that way, because it wasn't only that big event or that accident or that illness, that cold or that virus or whatever it was. It wasn't only that. It was everything. It was the years before that, prior to that led us away from our true north, that led us away from who we are. And so often people can get a certain amount of healing by focusing on the big thing. If it was a virus that pushed them over, then by focusing on, natural antivirals and whatever you're doing to fight the virus and kill the virus, and we're focusing on the thing, or, maybe it was the death of somebody important in your life. And so we do a lot of inner work to process that death. So whatever was the big thing, we can get a lot of momentum and gain from that. But often we were on the path already. And so there's a lot of before work that needs to get done in order to get us to 100%, because often people are frustrated because they've done everything that they can to process the death of the loved one, or they've done everything they can to knock out the virus, right? But they're still not achieving the healing. They're at like 50, 60%, and they can't get any better. And that's because they were already on the path, you see, and they need to go back. They need to really learn to see and heal and stop resisting who and what it is that they truly are and what it is that they truly want, because these patterns and these beliefs started well before. right? And so that's what we need to undo, and that's what we need to stop resisting in order to truly heal. And so often that's why it doesn't make sense. People say, well, how could it be a mind-body thing? I wasn't sick like this until I got the virus, right? But it often is. It usually is. I would say it always is, but there's usually parts that started before that gave us beliefs and values and an identity. This ego was constructed in a way that had that tipping point affect us so deeply. And so that's why it's not always just, working on the line, that tick bite, but it's about going back and revisiting our values and our beliefs and finding out who we are and where we've strayed and doing the inner work, because the path was already set. The tick bite was the tipping point. And it is, yes, the thing that can get us the most healing by focusing on, but there comes a point when that's not enough, because that wasn't the only thing that led us towards, this life that we are living and stuck in now, which is suffering with a chronic illness. It wasn't just the tick bite. The tick bite was, the tipping point. And albeit a strong tipping point, and maybe, if it wasn't for that tick point, we never would have got chronically ill. But there would have been other things that maybe led us to a lighter version of chronic illness, an unhappiness, an anxiety condition, maybe depressive, whatever it is. The tick bite wasn't the only thing. And that's why we need to do healing, mind, body, heart, and soul. So I just want to address those of you who got to chronic illness from, no fault of your own. Maybe you were living the best life ever and you weren't on the path to chronic illness in any way. And something happened. A terrible, terrible accident. Or a poisoning. Perhaps you took a medication that literally poisoned you. Right? A toxic exposure to mercury. Or something, gasoline, petrochemicals, whatever it was. I want to talk to you for a minute. Not all of us come to chronic illness the same way. Many of us wake up and find ourselves going from 0 to 100 in a matter of milliseconds. Going into a fatal car crash where you suddenly become paralyzed. Or having a toxic exposure, right? Or being in a fire and now you're a burn victim, whatever it is. It's like you get there overnight and your suffering is all-encompassing, immediate, and had nothing to do with you. It was through no fault of your own, and it wasn't resistance to yourself that led you here. It was an outside force in the environment or in your life. There was a cause, it was an outside force or cause that you were helpless to stop and that harmed you deeply. But now you are here and now you're suffering. And at first you may think, you can climb out or you can heal this. And over time you have been worn down and you realize you're stuck here in this pit and you are chronically ill and you don't know how to get out. You don't know how to survive this. You have no experience or depth. You've been dropped like a foreigner onto a different planet through no fault of your own. And you do not have a compass and you do not know how to find your way back. You've literally been dropped into another universe with no idea of how to survive, without the skills without any skills or any hope. And if that's you, I want you to know that this is not the video for you, because I can't help you from this place or this video. I have many videos that I can help you from, right? Videos about suffering, and videos about hopelessness, and videos about helplessness, and videos about victim consciousness, and videos about sinking down. But the truth is, I have over, I almost have 1,000 videos on this channel. And not all of them are meant to be everything to every single person along the way in their journey. Because the truth is, there are many different facets to healing, from your physical being to your mental, to your emotional, to your spiritual, and they are all important, especially if you're suffering beyond words and your body is really malfunctioning, right? You really need a lot. And so my videos speak to different parts of different people's journeys at different times. They are all relevant to you. Even if you think, like the last video, somebody posed a question, it's because they aren't in the place to hear that video. They're not there yet. They're not along the path far enough to benefit from that video. Yet that video is still made for them. It's just not yet. So all the videos that I make are relevant to you at some point, but not always. At the point that you are in the journey, are they going to be reflective of what you're feeling and going through at the time, or what you need to focus on? And that is why I've spent the last 4 years creating a program, because the program is where I can explain what parts, in what order, and how we process all of this and how we fit it together. And I can never do that from a single video or a single point of view. I can never reach everybody. It cannot be all encompassing, because everyone's at a different point. Everyone's at a different point along the journey, and it means something different to different people at a different time when they hear it. And so I know I do have something out there for you at any point along the way, because I've been at all the points. But if it doesn't resonate with you, then don't watch the video, watch another video, because you want to grab onto what resonates with you in the moment, because that is the thing that is going to hold you and pull you a little bit forward. You always want to grab onto a video that resonates in some way and can hold you where you are and pull you to the next level. And sometimes it's physical healing videos. Sometimes it is doing the inner work. Sometimes it's doing the future work, right? Sometimes it's healing the past. Sometimes it's healing the traumas. Sometimes it's all about detoxing. It's different things at different times depending on where you are and what you need. So please, I'm talking to whoever needs to hear this, and whoever doesn't resonate with a certain video that I might put out, do not give up. Don't give up. If you don't resonate with something, find something that you resonate with and cling to it. Hold your power in somebody else's words that you can hold, that you can tether yourself to, especially if you're sinking, and stay there until you can put your hands up a little harder, a little higher, and pull yourself up. And then get to the next rung and the next rung. And some time, at some point, another video of mine may resonate with you, okay? Because you're ready, or you're there, or you may have to go back and forth. But that's why a program is really important, and that's why I'm working really hard to create and release this program, because I know that people need different things at different points, and healing is all encompassing. It is body, mind, heart, and soul. You cannot miss any of the pieces. And so a physical healing, yes, somebody mentioned like detoxing is the only thing that got me to where I am, and that's great, because it is necessary, it is needed. And although all my videos aren't about detox, that's because when you get through the detox, but you're still stuck, there's still more. And the more might be emotional, the more might be, mental, the more might be spiritual. And we have to dig deeper so that we can find out what it is at these different points along your journey, so that we can get to who you truly are and who you truly want to be, which is piecing your mind, heart, body, soul, and spirit back together again, so that you're whole, so that you're complete, and so that you are healed and you can enjoy being in your body, mind, heart, and soul. It feels like home again. And isn't that what we all want for our physical, mental, emotional centers and parts of ourselves to feel whole and complete and to feel like home? So I want to get on with the video of resistance, and I want to just finish up here with talking about, we went through some examples on a smoker, somebody who's overweight, somebody with anxiety, and somebody with chronic illness has really gotten there many different ways. Like I said, it could have been a slow burn over time, a disease state that just slowly, inevitably crept up on you from your beliefs and values and decisions and actions over years and years and years. And now you have, an incurable cancer, or you've got multiple sclerosis, or you're getting Alzheimer's, something like this. Or, like I said, you could have been dropped in there from a massive accident or a massive toxic exposure or whatever it is that got you there overnight on a different planet with no idea. It could have been emotional from some traumas that you went through in your life, some losses and some deep losses and hurts in your past and in your present. And we need to look at all of that. But when I'm talking about that chronic illness is a byproduct of resistance, what I mean to say is that no matter how your chronic illness came about, whether it was a tick bite or a toxic exposure or a virus or a long drawn out, bad environment or diet or an emotional traumatic past, however you got here in this space of suffering and chronic illness, there is a way out. And the way out is by not resisting a new belief that you can heal, that you are not broken. Because right now, if you are continuing to have chronic illness, there is a deep belief that you are broken, that you can't heal, that this is too hard, that you're not going to be able to do it. Do you hear that? That is resistance. That is resisting what you want most. I am broken is resisting the I am whole, the I am healed, the I can be healed. You may want it, you may pray for it, but until you change your beliefs in yourself, your beliefs about who and what it is that you are, you truly deserve a life, no matter how you got here and how hard it is going to be to climb out. And whatever you have to do, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you need to believe that you're not stuck here, that you're not stuck broken. You need to see the perceiver, the person who sees the one who feels inevitably broken and harmed and unable to, end the victim, which you may very well be. But you need to perceive who sees this person. That is also me. That is the truer version of me. The one who perceives, the one who feels not broken. And that's the part of you that you can access not being resistant. That is the part of you that lets go of the resistance to this chronic illness itself. That's the part of you that can begin to believe, I'm more than this chronic illness. I am not broken. I see the seer. And that seer is not broken. That seer is whole. That seer is healed. That perceiver is everything. That perceiver can access everything, including source consciousness, including God consciousness. That seer, that perceiver, can create an entirely different identity, can create an identity of a fighter and someone who's courageous and somebody who will not stop ever until they find the answers, until they get to the goal. That seer, that perceiver can create any identity, including the person who always eats the right foods and who always goes to bed on time and who never wastes time scrolling on the phone and who always makes the right decisions and who can let go of hurts and pains and traumas easily and fast and who can begin to live life again in spite of what they're going through, in spite of the suffering and of the pain, because there's more to me than that. And when you can see the moreness, when you can see the moreness, you can see the higher parts of you, the truer parts of you. Because in the end, healing isn't just about getting your health back, your energy and your vitality and your physical health back. Healing is an entire transformation. Mind, body, heart, and soul. Healing is transformative on all levels. And when you get your health and physical health and vitality and energy back, that's really a byproduct of the transformation that you've done to your physical body sometimes, but usually to everything, to the whole part of you, mind, body, heart, and soul. When we transform, the natural byproduct of that is everything gets better, including your health and vitality. So that's often why people go searching for health and vitality, and they end up transforming themselves somehow, mind, body, heart, and soul inside. And then the outer reflects that. The health and vitality come as a byproduct of the entire transformation and their new beliefs and their new values and their new habits, right? The new patterns, their new awareness, their new consciousness. And when we transform our being, we transform everything, right? Including you finally get that health and vitality that you're looking for. Now, sometimes you can search just out, separate it, and search out just for the health and vitality and just focus on the physical part. And sometimes people get it, but a lot of times you need more. You need a transformation of who you are. You need to become more of who you are and transform into the truer part of you, the better part of you, and then the outer reflects everything. So we can do this. We can do this healing journey a number of different ways. And often when we start out, we really need to focus on just the physical and just getting the health back and raising our bar high enough, on the physical level, through diet and through detox and through, sunlight and environment and sleep and everything that we need to do physically in order to gain enough momentum and just enough life energy, a little less symptoms, a little less pain. But the journey's often not over. You normally don't solve it all in one aspect because you're a whole person. And so often when even if the majority of your healing needs to come from physical, you have gotten some emotional beliefs, you've had some traumas, your spirit has been knocked down, you've lost your own personal power. There's a lot of things that go on even with a strict physical healing that includes the whole totality of your being. And we need to address all of that. And so it's always the transformation that leads to the healing. That's why a lot of, people say, I can't believe that this mind body stuff is going to heal me, when it's mostly a physical thing that happened to me, right? It's because when we transform at a deep level of who we are, we transform everything, including our belief in ourselves, to heal it physically. And the physical things that we do become easier. And instead of being in victim consciousness when we're eating the diet or doing the healing protocols, the physical healing protocols, we're in a different consciousness. And that alone can make the difference in the physical healing protocols. But that doesn't come from just doing the work. It also comes from the mental and the emotional strength and belief, the transformation inside that has helped you get to a point where you can do this, and where it's easy to take those steps and become that person. And so although chronic illness is never your fault, you've never done this to yourself, nobody wants it, and yes, you're doing the best you can, you're doing everything you can, and oftentimes you are a victim, just like someone who got in a major car crash. Okay, two people got hit by the same drunk driver and were paralyzed and told they would never walk again. One person could have beliefs and values that says, I love myself, I will walk again, I'm going to walk again, and I will never doubt my ability to get out of this bed and walk. And the other person who's lying in the bed, same diagnosis, same problem, says, I can't believe this happened to me. This is so unfair. I'm never going to walk again. I'm not going to be able to do this. I hate my life. I hate everything. I'm so upset. I wish I could go back. I wish this never happened. What am I going to do? I want to walk again, but I just can't move my legs. Right? Which person do you think has the better chance of actually recovering? Which person, when doing the work, when eating the diet, when doing the physiotherapy, when, trying to stand up and brace themselves on their leg, which person has the mindset, the beliefs, which person is more likely to actually get what they want? The person who's focusing on what they want, the person who believes it in their core, the person who is already there mentally, right, can get there physically a lot easier than the person who isn't there yet mentally. Because the other person has two problems to overcome, right? Not walking, and the mind, the resistance that keeps them from believing they can be a person who can walk, from having those strong, solid beliefs. So they have to overcome the mind first before they can get up. I mean, they may try to do all the physical therapy that helps them walk, but without that mindset, they're not as far ahead on the path, right? The other person who has all the power of their mind working for them, who never doubts, who holds onto faith and belief and love for themselves, who speaks kindly, who doesn't fall into victim consciousness but stays as a victor, believes that they're going to do it, they're already halfway there. Now that person, it may be a struggle. It may not be possible, but if they never give up and they never believe, those are the kinds of people who make the miracles happen. Those are the people, the stories that you read about and think, that's what I want. Those people transformed on the inside. Those people had no resistance to believing that they could become healed, that they were healed, that life was for them. So my point is, when we resist the beliefs and the values and the patterns that make us the type of people that chronic illness can't survive in, because we're better than that, we're stronger than that, we're more powerful than that, we know our worth, we believe in ourselves, we love ourselves. Chronic illness can't thrive in that person's body, no matter how you got there, whether you led yourself there or whether you were placed there, dropped in that planet with, you had no, it had nothing to do with you. If you believe that that life is not meant for you, you are halfway out of being there. And so when we resist our power, when we resist our own love, our own worthiness, our own changing our own beliefs, becoming God consciousness, source consciousness, when we resist that is who we are, that is for us, we're resisting the actual healing that we claim that we want to do. Stop resisting who you are. You are powerful. You are a fragment of source energy. You are a fragment of God. Chronic illness can't survive in you forever. You will find a way out if you hold on to who you are inside, if you transform what you are inside, what you choose to focus on, what you choose to believe in, if you stop resisting your own power, your own love, your power, your own personal power, the fragment of God, of source, is more powerful than resistance itself, than anything that tries to stop you from healing or saying, I can't, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not strong enough, or whatever it is. So this video has been long. It has not really been a part 2, has it? Kind of. It's been all over the place because I was trying to do a part 2, but I also have all this in my mind that I wanted to say and I wanted to get out. And so this is what this video turned out like. And I hope it's been valuable to you. I hope that you've gained some insight. I hope it's been helpful. And no matter what part of your journey that you are on, do not give up. See who you truly are. Love yourself. Take back your power. Change your beliefs. Change your patterns. Become the type of person internally who can and will heal, and nothing will stop them. Believe in yourself. Never give up. You can do this. You are whole. You can be whole. There is somebody above you, the witnesser, the perceiver. Find out who that person is. Believe you can and will heal. Hold on to every piece of hope that you can. Guard your power. Guard your energy. Focus on healing. Focus on what heals. Focus on life, on loving, on living. Live into your new life. Create it. Believe it. Design it. Step into it. These are the things within your power, within your control. You are the creator. You are loved. You are love. Stop resisting yourself. Stop resisting life. If it is available to anyone, it is available to everyone. Believe it's available to you. So never give up. You can heal, and I will see you in the next video.